what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join this discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by 10th Man, Spurs Schemo, Paige, Flatzoid, Adam Meakin, Chocolate Saying. I'll get a hello from the people in Discord next, but hello to all the people in Google+.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning.
Morning. And we are also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord, so let's bring that up and say hello to the people in there. Hello, Billy, Dougie, Earthshaped Investigator, EL, Goon Investigator, Slayer of Prey, Cyrix, and Thunderbuddy and Woz. Hello to all of you.
Hola.
Hello.
Well, hello. Anybody want to kick us off with some housekeeping questions? Don't all go at once.
How do we have gas pressure without a container?
Can't. Violation of a law of nature. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
It's as far away here as it is there, so.
Far away,
No.
you say? That sounds like a quantification of distance to me. How do you know such things?
It's just as far.
Literally right over my head right now.
It's under my bum then.
Oh, of course.
Not without affirming the consequent.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Moving on.
Any signs of axial rotation?
Of the Earth-based variety.
Again, not without affirming the consequent.
Not here.
And was it R value?
No evidence of the R value, I'm afraid.
Evidence of the R value? No?
Nothing.
Oh. No, there's nothing at this end of the world either.
Any curve on this ball? This presupposed ball? Curvature? Need some curvature for a ball, right? Last time I checked.
It'd be handy.
No signs of Earth curve, I'm afraid, Chocolate. Sorry. Don't know, maybe someone in Discord can help us out.
No, no. They're going with the level curve. There is no curve. It's a level curve.
Oh,
Thanks.
I forgot that. That's what's up in 2019. Level curves.
Oh.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? I always hold out hope for this one. Hey, Paul.
Hello. You finally resolved that with Spurs?
Oh, we've got him to concede in the pre-show that he wouldn't bring it up. Thanks,
funny.
Paul.
He was cracking me up, and I was trying to listen.
We're in peace talks.
Sleeping dogs, Paul. Sleeping dogs.
Spurs right now.
Sleeping dogs, my friend.
Yeah, I'm out and about today. We're celebrating the 4th today, so that's why I'm in and out.
Yeah, we don't celebrate that here.
Why not? Why don't you celebrate our independence? Why don't you celebrate it? Come on.
Independence from what now?
This English rule that we had.
It's a dark day here.
That's hilarious.
So instead of the 4th of July, it's the 4th of deny kind of thing.
No, what? It just goes completely unmentioned here.
I got you.
Did we conclude
Shoot
housekeeping?
too many fireworks, Paul.
Did we conclude housekeeping?
Don't go
Was that
crazy.
it? Is that it for housekeeping? Was there any other questions? I think that's it, isn't it?
Gravity?
Oh yeah. Any scientific evidence of gravity? Got a whole panel full of people in Discord.
Scientific evidence of what?
Oh come on, Discord. We want to have a good laugh at it's a force, but you can think of it as a force and all these good japes. Come on. Play ball.
Professor Dave thinks it's a force. He just put out a video saying it was.
Professor who?
You know that Professor Dave idiot, the one that does all the debunking videos?
I don't.
I think he was having a go at Sleeping Warrior because he's carrying on about how buoyancy and density are not a force, but gravity is.
I know not of this Professor Dave. I'll have to ask Sleeping Warrior about it if it's some bear he's been poking. I don't tend to pay attention, I've got to be honest. I vaguely know who all these people are. I can't remember in yesterday's pre-show someone was asking me about Sean Hawkins, and it's like, I know him because I've seen a snip out from Jose where he's, and you're going to have to excuse my swearing, but him shouting, "Shut the fuck up!" at Rumpus.
Oh, yeah, Sean Hawkins is charming. He's just such a lovely person. Oh.
Yeah,
I've got a
gold.
discussion.
Go ahead.
I've been bringing it up. I've been bringing it up here and there, but I don't know if anybody's ever caught it. But if you have energy or force, you have to have energy, right? John, would I be right in that? I know the Newtonian thing might come into play here, but isn't it usually some kind of force equivalent with some kind of energy as well? You have to have energy to have the force. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
no, maybe.
You want to get this train wreck back on the rails with Spurs, don't you? I can just sense it, Paul.
Do what now?
You're trying to get this train wreck back on the rails.
Exactly. So, and I've been saying this for several days now, trying to say, look, even in a pressurized system, there has to be energy implied. So even if there's gravity, there has to be an energy implied. If you're going to say there's some kind of force, the question is, where is that energy coming from? Either way. I'm not even saying either direction. You just got to have energy at some. If you have force, you have to have energy. Where's that energy coming from?
Maybe that's evidence of the ether.
I don't know. But see, I don't know if that is ether. I don't know if that's. You have to unpack that because I don't make that claim. I'm just saying, like I've said this before. Compressor system. Like I was driving over here to we're at the grocery store, and obviously we're running the air conditioner. Well, there's the equivalence between pressure and temperature is very evident because you use a compressor to compress the gas, which heats up the gas, and then you blow air across it to reduce the temperature of the gas. But you still have the pressure. The temperature is reduced, but the pressure is still there. And that's what causes the cooling effect inside of a vehicle. So, but there's energy being introduced in that system by the compressor constantly. That's what causing the cooling and heating or the cooling effect. Actually, ultimately creates the cooling effect overall in the system. So
like what's the motor of the Earth?
Well, but see the thing, and I was saying this yesterday too. You can have a pressurized system without constant pressure being applied into that system. And a tank, a scuba tank is a good example. You put a lot of energy into that to pressurize the system. But you can reduce the temperature of the tank and still maintain the pressure because as soon as you open the valve, the pressure is released.
But you had to use the energy in the first place, didn't you? So I suppose if we are
Oh,
pressurized.
the energy, there still is this energy thing still in
Yeah.
play. And so no matter what, if you have a pressurized system, there has to be energy in play. And I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
I would say
gravity.
so.
Gravity has nothing to do with this. Nothing. The idea of Newtonian gravity has nothing to do with this. So we can live in a pressurized dynamic system and have the dynamic system, I think, is caused by the sun and other factors that are going on. But even if you remove those factors, we could still be in a pressurized system and have that pressure gradient in a pressurized system.
There's somebody
Because
that's
it causes it.
disagreeing with you. Hold on a second, Paul. There's somebody disagreeing with your take on gravity. No one in Discord. You're typing away in the chat, and then you're in this voice chat room. You're off mute. Why don't you have a go with Paul? At no one. No one in Discord. I know you can hear me.
You pop yourself on mute, Paul.
Me? Okay, hang on.
Yeah, Paul. No one.
Sorry.
I was
Hello.
disagreeing.
No one. I see your smiling face right here. You're one of those chat board warriors. I know who you are. So you said gravity needs energy to work. Laughing your ass off. Hope we never run out of gravity power. Okay? So you have Paul here that brought up the term gravity. Would you like to have a conversation with Paul? You yellow
I was just wondering where he
spine
got the
coward.
idea that you have to have energy to have the force.
You need to fix your mic.
No, he said, I'm wondering where he got the idea that we need energy to have force. Paul, did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, it's our everyday experience. I'm pushing a cart through the grocery store right now. I am applying energy to this cart, moving it. So there's energy and force in play. If I don't push on this cart, it'll just sit there. It won't move. It'll just sit there. So it's right now
So
in the
because
grocery store. That
some
proves my
forces
point.
require energy, all forces require energy?
Show me where a force doesn't require energy, because I think they do. Everything, when something's in motion or movement, it is requiring energy to cause it. Molecules in motion, which is the gas issue, has energy implied, causing molecules to bounce and creating the force inside the container, correct?
Sure, but just because some require energy means all require energy?
Okay, you're saying some that don't. You show me one that doesn't. I'm showing
I
all
mean,
forces
I'm driving
I
down the road here and I
experience
see a
every
red car.
day
Just because I
require
see a
energy.
red car, does that mean all cars are red?
All cars require gasoline, which is energy to cause it to move.
This car is red, though. Are all cars red just because this one car is red?
Define force, and then we'll have a conversation. Define force.
Yeah, did you hear what he said? He's asking for a definition of force.
Any interaction that will cause a change in motion of an object.
So change in motion or location, right? Is that what
Sure.
you're saying? Any change in location or motion?
Nowhere in
Are
that
all
definition does it say it requires energy.
inside of a tank? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. You might hold.
Nowhere
I'm
in
sorry, I
that
didn't catch you.
definition does it say that it requires.
Cut off at the end. Nowhere in
Nowhere
the
in that
definition.
definition.
Unbelievable.
No one.
Am I off the rails, John?
No, we just didn't hear the. He's making a point, but we just didn't hear the last two words of it because presumably he's using push to talk and just letting go a little bit too soon.
Okay.
Nowhere in that definition does it say that it requires energy.
To move something, what is required? Something to move, what is required?
Yeah, right. For me to move something, it requires energy, but that doesn't mean you have to have energy anytime something moves.
You show me an example of what you're saying. Demonstrate that for me.
Drop something and watch it change position. Where was the energy required?
When I pick something up, I applied energy to that because I'm moving it out of its position, adding kinetic energy to that.
But then when you drop it, do you apply energy to it or do you just let go of it?
Sorry, you're not addressing him. He's saying, you said, where did you get the energy from? He says, I pick it up, put energy into it. Before he did that and put energy into it, it wasn't dropping. It's not just whistle past the fact that you have to put energy into it, completely shattering your argument. Are you going to address that or what?
Right, now it has potential energy, and then you drop it, right?
So something lying on the ground isn't dropping until I pick it up?
No.
Exactly.
Then why is it on the ground?
Oh,
then
God.
Why is it on the ground?
Should have stayed on mute.
The wind could have blown it there.
Sorry, why is it on the ground? Who cares? You're trying to give us an example of something that moves without any energy input. Your example being input some energy into something and then ignore the fact you put energy in it and just observe what it does after you drop it. Well, exactly. That's useless and that's been shattered. Okay, well, so is there anything else to add to this, or has Paul just basically smashed you?
If that's how you're going to define it, then the energy for gravity comes from the energy you put in when you pick it up.
Gravity? Which gravity?
The gravity we've been talking about this entire time. I'm not the one that brought it up.
Which gravity are you talking about? Newtonian, Cavendish? I'm sorry, I'm taking Newton out of it. Reverend John Mitchell,
ask Paul.
Cavendish?
I'm not the one that brought
Reverend John Mitchell, Cavendish, or Einsteinian?
Ask Paul. I'm not the one who brought gravity up.
Sorry, stop a second, you two. You're no one, right?
Yeah, which is a contradiction.
Sorry, just read your quote from the live stream chat. Gravity needs energy to work, ? LMAO. What? Hope we never run out of gravity power. So do you want to take that complete shit that you haven't made any claims back, or you're going to accept that is printed in black and white in the live stream chat? Do I need to put it on screen for the audience to prove you're a liar, or are you just going to rescind?
Is Paul not the one who originally brought up gravity?
No, John enticed you into this conversation because you had mentioned it in the live stream. He made that clear. Now you're denying it for some reason.
Because Paul said, where does the energy for gravity come from? Because all forces need energy.
And you responded.
I was actually saying, the point I was making is if gravity is in play, then there has to be energy involved, according to the Newtonian or Einsteinian perspective. So that's all I was saying. I was actually bringing a question, not making a statement. I wasn't agreeing with gravity. I was questioning the understanding.
I was questioning your question because nowhere in those frameworks does it say it requires energy.
What's it? What's it?
There's nowhere in that statement that what doesn't require energy. What's it in your last statement? What's the it bit?
The same it that we've been talking about from the beginning.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's that? What's that?
The gravity that Paul brought
just
up.
Say it, man.
There we go. So we're back to John's question then. So which gravity specifically?
The gravity that makes stuff fall to the ground.
Unbelievable. You are such a clown, sir.
No. What's that one then? There's two.
Then they.
I mentioned them, by the way. I mentioned them, helping you out there.
So did he. That's fine. Is he having mic problems now? I would suggest you do.
So we're going to find out which gravity this is in reference to that we've been talking about the whole time, apparently, according to you.
It doesn't matter which one.
Yeah, it does. Words have meanings. They're different definitions for two different things, so it very much does matter. It's very specific to your
But
argument.
locally here on Earth, they do the same thing.
What are they? Those two different types of gravity, you think they do the same thing?
Yeah,
And what is
they
that
do.
thing?
Because before Newton and before Einstein,
Yeah? You're almost there with a sentence. Just one little adjective. And we'll have a whole sentence.
You cut off, bro. You said before Newton and Einstein. What? You cut off.
before Newton and before Einstein, things fell to the ground. They fall into the ground for the entirety of the history of Earth.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
even
they fall
before
down and go
gravity.
boom boom.
Wow.
So things fall down,
wants,
go
hold
boom
on,
boom.
Hold on. Who wants this? I heard, no disrespect, John. I heard
Okay.
Paige, and I heard, I think, Arwin. Who wants this?
You go for it, Alwyn.
I don't think Arwen is here.
Who was it that spoke
Oh,
up?
with
Was
John
it you,
McCall.
Anon?
Moto. Yeah.
Go ahead. It's all yours.
All right. Yeah, things used to fall all the time because of relative density, because they're in the medium of air. They're denser than air. So they go down because the air can't support them until they hit something more dense, namely the Earth. Then they're stuck. Then they can't go any further. Hello?
Why do denser things go down rather than up?
Because the thing that's under it can't support it. Simple as that.
Right, but the thing that's above it can't support it either, so why doesn't it go up?
Wait, the thing above it doesn't support it?
It's a law of nature.
Things go down, and it's relative to the person's eye. Now, here's a thought experiment. Here's a thought experiment.
Relative to the person's
that.
eye, so if
Hold
I'm
on.
upside down, it'll
Hold
go
on.
up?
Wait. So imagine a cave. This cave is filled with liquid mercury. Okay, imagine this. There's these animals that kind of live inside this liquid mercury, kind of like those animals that live by the vents, the harsh environment. Let's just assume that that exists. And to them, everything is flowing upwards. Everything is hitting the roof of the cave. Okay, now if they evolved, quote unquote evolved, or whatever, if they had eyes, they would be seeing everything upside down, and they would probably have legs on their heads. And to them, everything is going down, but it's not really down to me because it's going up to me. It's all relative to the person's looking at whatever it's looking at inside the medium. Up and down are not like actual directions. It's just relative to the eye of the beholder. Kind of like beauty.
Oh, that's sweet.
No worries, mate. Do you understand? It's relative to the person,
And
to the
he's
eye
stuck out in
of the
space
beholder.
too.
You got to give him a chance to respond. Sorry, Paige.
So if I'm upside down, it'll go the other way since it's relative to me.
If you're upside down on your hands, and you're looking at a balloon, and the balloon goes up, but if you're upside down with your hands on the ground, it's actually going down, isn't it?
Yeah, so things go. So if I drop a rock, if I'm upside
Things
down, it
go
should go
relative.
up, right?
Sorry, say
Say that
again,
again.
no one.
So here's another example. If Newton
Hold on,
was by water,
I didn't hear no one's response. Well, looks like that's it then. Shout out to LLB Store. The gravity force is the displaced air medium pushing us up, just like air-filled beach ball forced underwater pushed back up from the water. Thank you very much for the super chat, LLB Store. Is that it? Are you done? Can I give a quick summary?
Did he drop?
No, he's still there. He just didn't take the chance to give you a response. I don't know why. Okay, fine. Well, this fundamentalist assertion that everything goes down is incorrect. Some things go up. So, steam from the kettle, helium balloons, these things don't go down. They go up. So there is no force pulling everything down. It's relative to the medium. If the thing is less dense, then it'll go up. So it's not that more dense things are suddenly going to go up because the air is also less dense above it, because the thing that's less dense would go in that direction. It's relative to its density. It's not all to do with an imaginary force that's presupposed by fundamentalist religious zealots, and everything to do with the density relative to its medium. Simple.
Yep, pretty simple.
Flat Earth dude says coffee is going down. Not if you're standing on your head, it isn't. Well, that was fun. I'm really grateful to you, No One. Not often that the keyboard warriors actually come away from being keyboard warriors for a few moments. I really appreciated that. Not about anybody else, but I did.
He's thinking about that cave right now.
We did a experiment. I remember when I was in primary school, where our teacher made us do a handstand and then chew something and swallow it. And I remember being told that was our bodies working against gravity, being able to swallow something upside down.
Not an experiment.
No, not an experiment. And a demonstration.
A demonstration, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got to work that into the education, haven't they? They've got to reference gravity when all their early demonstration is, what is it? Capillary motion?
Yeah, it was just your muscles in your throat and stuff. Like, wow.
People who have young kids
are
watching TV for children. I mean, it's amazing how they. I mean, once you realize what's going on, and then you watch like Curious George. I mean, literally yesterday he was changing something inside the Hubble, and the guy at the Dr. Weisberg in the NASA headquarters was telling them, because you have to shoot around the moon, the gravity, and then and I was like, what the hell, dude? This kid's 2 years old. Like, leave him alone, seriously. And everywhere I go, the kids, I mean, even my own kids, they have shirts with dinosaurs on them. Like, dinosaurs is the most common, and spaceships is like the most common shit that they put on kids' clothing. It's amazing.
Yeah, dinosaurs and space. Everything's polluted with space. So common in people.
Why?
Go ahead.
Why dinosaurs, though? Do you think that they've chosen that as like the poster boy for billions of years and evolution and all that? It's only something recent as well, isn't it? All this dinosaur stuff, like maybe 100 years or 200 years.
I don't have their motives as to why they picked that creature. I mean, they could have just stuck with dragons, but they did what they did. I have no answers as to why, but I just know that it's being pushed, it's being shoved. I mean, you go to Fred Meyer, you go anywhere, you go to the kids section, and it's just dinosaurs and rocket ships and space. It's how early they start with gravitational force explanations is just amazing. I'm like, just wait until he goes to school. But no, they want you to know what gravity is before you even go to first grade. That's what it comes down to. Like,
Yeah.
even
and
at first
they want
grade,
you
you should
to
know what gravity is.
they want you to understand it at a subconscious level from being a baby.
Yep, before you literally can hold your neck up.
Dude, I had a solar system mobile over my crib. My parents bought for me. And the first mattress that I had after I left the crib had space on it. And I still remember that to this day.
It
It's
should give some
everywhere, man.
disclaimers here that we don't deny the lights in the sky as flat earthers, just in case there's any newbies watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say your parents at least got you something that's kind of real. Like you know, there are lights in the sky.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
some of them,
sure.
some of them take their own
it had
path.
rockets. It had rockets and astronauts and all that crap too. So
well, it's more that as a mobile, it's physical. So they're not what they are, right? They're not lights. They're suddenly physical things that you can look at above your crib in the same way you can look at the lights above your sky. But you would understand, at least, I don't know, I'm not a baby, or I obviously can't remember what it's like being a baby, but, you know, you're visualising something that's physical in front of you. And later in life, you might actually touch that mobile. So when they tell you that you can go to Saturn or whatever, then you're going to understand at a fundamental level because you've seen it from the crib. Something physical. Well, they're not, they're just lights.
I'm finding it very interesting, the difference between my 12-year-old compared to my 17 and 18-year-olds, how much more indoctrinated the older two are, and how they just still want to hold on to, you know, all these things that they've learned in high school. Whereas with my younger boy, he hasn't had that time, you know, that so much drummed into him. So he's a little bit more open to understanding a different point of view. It's very interesting.
That's the process, isn't it? That basically school is about reversing your creativity from a child for the most part. Unless you go to a really good school,
yeah.
what they do is that they just take your creativity and work backwards, so that by the time you come out of it, you know, you think you're creative, you think you're smart, but you've got most of it sucked out of you, I think.
You're
I mean,
just a
some of that
carbon
is
copy.
becoming an
You don't
adult,
have any.
but
It's really quite sad, you know, when I see the difference between my young boy and my older boys, and, you know, the imagination that my young one's got compared to just the cookie cutter answers I get from my older boys. It's like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, shit. But then I get told I'm going to ruin my kid's life for telling him this. Oh, well.
Have you told all your sons?
Yeah. My oldest one has turned around and said, yeah, you've got some good points, but he won't go any further than that. The middle boy, he just doesn't even want to know. And the younger one is completely flat earth now.
This might be a nod to you, Paige. So £3.33 from Colin Turner says blast the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Colin.
333, nice.
Let me know if that was a nod to Paige.
Yeah, even the Gematria connections with space are just amazing. Like, wow.
Plug your channel,
Female
Paige.
astronaut.
Started making videos. You're officially a videographer now. Plug your channel.
Yeah, I am. It's just my name, Paige, and it's just all Gematria, a book called Letters and Numbers. The first chapter's out, and there's a little quick 10-minute video introducing the Gematria calculator and explaining what, you know, how to use it and what it does. And then the first video on the book is why are there 26 letters in the English alphabet, and I go through, you know, exactly how the English alphabet was created this way, and that's why all these connections can be made, because they literally made it this way. So yeah, very interesting.
Payge. And what's the title of your video? I'll go and dig it out so I can spam it in the chat, but if you can just give the title.
It's why are there 26 letters in the English alphabet?
Oh, jolly good! I found you surprisingly quickly, so I'll put a link.
Oh, brilliant!
In the live stream chat to this one's called just Gematria Calculator. So I'll stick that in now. Check out Paige's channel. Go and subscribe to her today.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
Just subscribed less than a second ago.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Ooh.
I actually had a comment from Slick on my video today. I haven't seen him around for a while. Or I haven't heard him. I've seen him around, but I haven't heard him.
Slick James Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Slick. Yeah, he regularly comments on Flat Earth Debate.
On your show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was stoked he came and had a look. That was real nice.
Seems like such a long time ago that Slick was frequently frequenting the show. Probably only about 2 weeks.
Let me mediate real quick.
Say again, Anon?
Let me mediate real quick.
Still didn't catch that, Anon. Say it one more time.
He always used to say, "Let me mediate real quick." Just let me mediate.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll return at some stage. All are welcome, Crucy. Slick ain't welcome no more. Yeah, he is. All are welcome. I think Brenda would return day after day if people like Slick weren't welcome. Brenda definitely wouldn't be, let's put it that way. But yet she still comes in.
I think that's why Owen was a little bit triggered when he came on before, because Brenda was in his chat and she was asking him, you know, oh, let me join you so I can explain to you what this is, Owen. And he's just like, no, 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 you're not coming on.
Slick get a toe tag. Mason B in the chat says, I found Slick's toe tag. It's 815 after show. Is that right, Mason B? Did he get a toe tag? Colin Turner says, just sub to Paige. Yeah, I think it was a nod to you, Paige.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Colin.
I really want to know why the 20 the alphabet, why there's
26 letters. Oh, there's lots and lots of different reasons, but it's all basically around God and, you know, God's name, the Hebrew and the Greek. Oh, somebody wants to join in. Yeah, it's like it's about an hour long, but it goes through all the different equations for the names, different names of God, and all the different words that associate with that.
Point out how calm it is now Spurs isn't around, and how that isn't necessarily a good thing.
I can see where he's coming from, but I don't know why. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from. It's just frustrating.
Oh, that's just reminded me of something. I was watching Tim Osman, and he mentioned that he'd had a little chat with you. Obviously, he was very derogatory towards you in his in his comments, but I didn't realise you'd had a chat with him. How did you get on?
Oh, I've spoken to him twice. Yeah, he's just so condescending. He obviously loves the sound of his own voice, and yeah, you just can't get through to people like that.
And he's an abject retard that thinks he's an intellectual. It's like Elmer Fudd Sophis.
Oh, yeah. He sort of acts like he's some kind of Christ figure, kind of, you know, he sort of talks like, you know, I can give you all the answers, and I'm just so knowledgeable, and you know, and he talks in this real, condescending way. It's infuriating to me.
For the first 2 years he was out here, he didn't know the difference between moot, M-O-O-T, and mute.
M-U-T-E, yeah.
That
was hilarious.
Yeah, he used to say moot yourself. Me, Cathexis and I, we wouldn't tell him. Every show would be laughing in the background.
Oh dear.
Are you serious?
I'm absolutely serious. You ever talk to Cathexis again? Ask him about it.
That's pretty funny.
When he tried to say that all flat earthers ignore, you know, everything that they say to us, and you know, and none of us will listen, and all this kind of stuff. But I sat on, I think I spoke to him the first time on Nathan Thompson's show, and then the second time on Jose's show, and I made sure I was very polite and listened to everything he had to say. And you know, and then when he was on Ranty's show, he's saying, I've got a really open mind, but I'll never believe in flat earth. And it's like, well, then you don't have an open mind. How can you say that? He contradicts himself, you know, says one thing and then, I don't know, he's frustrating.
Yeah, he went through the comments that were on Ranty's roundtable of his presentation, and obviously your comments were quite prevalent. You'd left 2 or 3 there. So he went
I think I left about 5.
Yeah, right. You've reiterated most of what you said in the comments here now, but obviously you had a thing or two to say about that.
Yeah, it was driving me nuts. I must have driven Ranty nuts, having to just sit there and listen to what he was saying, knowing how wrong he was. I just don't know how he did it.
Did you watch Ranty's face?
Yeah, when he was like,
see his face.
falling
Some of the answers
going,
that Timmy was giving, Ranty was just like sitting there, turning red, basically. Like it was hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a rebuttal to Timmy Clown's position on Friday. Am I mistaken on that? Or
no, well, you are and you aren't. I'm intending to do something. I don't really know what I'm going to put together yet. So I said to Ranty earlier I might do a presentation on Friday if I can get the presentation together, or it will be at a later date if not. But I just didn't want to actually give out a date.
Yeah, didn't somebody cancel on him?
Yeah, I'll get that a lot. That's why I didn't want to commit and say, yeah, I'll do it on Friday, just if time's not permitting and I don't get something together. I don't want to just go on and wing it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, there we go there then.
I pasted one of those videos that I recorded from TV. It's Peppa Pig about moon. It's just watch it. It's just so stupid.
Anon, I told you that Jaren used one of your videos, right? On, one of his.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen that footage before. That's pretty awesome.
Tell us more.
Well, guys, I might head off. It's 1:15 here, so I'm just about to fall asleep. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you on the next stream, hey?
Thanks, Paige. It's good to see you.
All right, Paige.
Thanks for
good
shouting the channel out. Catch you guys later.
Take care.
Put another link to Paige's channel in the live stream if you want to go and subscribe to her channel. Check her out. She's making videos. There is a
no,
link.
You still have that video? Maybe you want to play it, since there's You know, nothing much going on as far as glow proof.
Talking about me?
Yeah, you want to play that video?
I'm on my phone and I'm changing
Oh
poop
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, you're right.
But yeah, if it's in master, I can paste it in Master B and someone can put it out there.
Yeah, I can do that. What is the video anyway? What's it about?
Narrow viewing angle. Remember the good old days?
About narrow
Just
viewing
light
angle.
this. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll give me like a minute and a half. A minute. I'll paste it on Master B.
No worries. I'll get it up and I'll stick it up. Is it nice and short? Hopefully. No offense.
Yeah, it's pretty short. So
Cool.
maybe a minute and a half.
Perfect. That's perfect. So Jaren just used it to contextualize the point he was making, right?
Yeah, and he actually said he said this video is made by Anon, which is weird because on the I posted on, I don't have a YouTube channel because I don't want one. I pasted on Streamable, and there's no title, no nothing. But he knew it was he said, oh, it was made by Anon, which made me think that he's on Master B somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is in Master B.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you get a really warm and fuzzy feeling when someone like Jaren promotes you, right? Makes you feel special. But it does for me. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah, I didn't even catch it until Chocolat told me. I was like, thanks.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of missing warm and fuzzy moments now Patricia Steer's gone for newbie flat earthers who've become videographers. Slightly heartbreaking, if I'm honest, but, you know, still pleased when people like Jaren do the similar thing and shout people like yourself out and use the examples, videos that they've made, and that's just good. And like I say, I can only speak from experience, but when things like that happen to me, I'm really, really pleased and excited, and, you know, just makes me happy.
I think my favorite part was when he was joking and he said, Sir Nathan Oakley.
Right, that's because of the Narnia equation.
That was so funny. I died. But yeah, I pasted on Master B, Nathan.
Okay, let's have a look. How do altimeters work? Is that it?
No, it's just a streamable link.
Oh, okay.
There's no title.
In Master B? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. Okay,
last message was from Chemo.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't post it yet. I don't see it.
It's not atmospheric pressure. We can only measure water pressure, says Chemo. My God. Does he ever stop? Here we go.
Yep, there's like a little bit of gap right here. Oh no, dear. A little bit of gap, but it's nothing. Tiny flush.
We can't see it, or at least I can't see it.
Over here.
Yes, I've got it up for the audience.
Oh, got it.
Light.
Does it need commentary?
Nope.
The moment you're walking around and now you're on the floor, you're looking at a computer
It's
screen.
just me making fun of it.
How do I get rid of the sound? That'll do.
There's the thing in the corner.
Okay, so you got your light at the end.
Yep, just dropping the iPhone down a little bit. And the light just boonk.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And that's a bright flashlight.
That any more for any more? Do you do it up again? Yep, you do.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time.
So what we used to call angle of attack videos, right?
Yep. The first one I saw was you with that book, and I was like, "What?" I had never like thought of that or even had anybody explain that or see that until I saw that book in that room.
The lights are
And then I
miles
had
better
to
than my book. I mean, that was the first one to my knowledge, but the as soon as, was it Jose or was it Travis? I forget who was first. I think it was Jose. Jose did it with
supermarket.
Yeah, I think it was Jose that was the first to do it with a light. He did it on a camera phone. He took a camera phone to the other end of the supermarket, right?
Yep.
Very smooth ground.
That streamable keeps looping the video. Just
Oh, let's just get rid of that then.
yeah, streamable just loops it.
What were you saying? Smooth. Flat.
Smooth ground.
Oh,
Flat.
right.
They use the level to level the ground.
Right. Yeah.
And
I liked it back in the
like
day.
shiny.
Before we got to the point
I'm
that
sure somebody will say it's curvature.
I was just about to say that, Chocolate. I liked it before we appreciated that they only have one cause to assert. It's always a... It's always Earth curve. So where we have Tim Osman listing off a massive list of things that could be accounting for things disappearing in the distance, they only have one assertion, which is Earth curve. So when it came to these videos and the floor, they literally would assert that the floor was curving. Because they can only give one explanation.
Amazing.
The curve calculator.
He rattled off yesterday again about how he's got, I think the list is up to, there's like 86 things now that the flat earthers use as excuses.
86 things that we only ever assert is Earth curve. If it's disappearing into the distance because of a small aperture on an iPhone in a hall or a supermarket, then you can be damn sure that it's going to be Earth curve as well, because they've only got one cause to assert. It's absolutely comical.
That's pretty
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, even if they claim that the Earth, not the Earth, the floor is, not 100% level and there's bumpy and whatever. What's crazy is that with that observation I was doing is like just maybe literally 5 steps in front. That's why I had to go behind that table. I didn't want to go behind that table. I wanted to be in front of the table. And when I did that, I could still see some of the light. And I was like, what? So I just literally got up, went 5 steps further back, and boom, it disappeared. So that means that what they're saying is like if there's something with the floor, then it was between that 5 steps because, from all the way from the wall to the table, I could still see it. It was just I was at a perfect spot where I could take a couple steps back and the angle would just be small enough where it wouldn't show.
Those were the days.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that at work, but like,
yeah, I'm glad your example got used because with that high intensity torch, it did look, and a shorter range than Jose and Travis were managing. It's just that much more obvious when you've got it at a slightly shorter range.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How far would you say that was?
Say like maybe 60 yards.
Oh, it's further than it looked then.
I mean, yeah, you see my steps. Like, I guess you can count the steps, but say about no, maybe less than 60 yards, maybe 50, 40 or 50 yards. Half of a stadium, football field, I think.
It's just foreshortening. You're reducing the angle as you lower. That's all you're doing. We called it angle of attack, but that was just a catchy way of describing the actual process of reducing your angle to get something to disappear in the distance. But in reality, the effect is just called foreshortening.
Yeah, it's. I think I forget who did that. I think it was Good Times for All, where it wasn't even a thing, and it was like 4 feet on an actual flat table, and it was basically it was a paper with a little bit of blue on it, and you could see the blue on the paper. It was just blue ink, but as soon as you bring the camera down, suddenly the blue ink of the paper would disappear. Where you just see the white, and then so you don't even have to be that far. It's 5 feet. You could see the foreshortening of the ink on a paper.
Exactly.
Where the
And
blue,
this effect has made it onto Tim Osman's list of things that will, of course, be called Earth curve.
Yep.
Cool. Well, with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of today's live debating panel for making this debate possible. If you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Massive thanks to all who tuned in live, smashed the super chat, commented, shared, subscribed, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum if you want to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!